They said heroes don't always wear uniforms anymore. But that night, when smoke twisted into the sky and a little girl screamed from a burning house, a forgotten veteran with torn boots and a loyal dog proved everyone wrong. No one knew that by the next morning, the girl's mother, the CEO of a billion-dollar company, would arrive with a check that could change his life forever, if he accepted it. But for him, the real story didn't start with fire. It started with pain, memory, and a promise he made long ago. Book Chapter 1, The Night the Sky Turned Orange. Ethan Ward walked the edge of Willow Creek with the slow, heavy steps of a man carrying more memories than belongings. His clothes were worn, his backpack light, and his military dog, Shadow, walked faithfully beside him, never straying more than a step. Ethan wasn't homeless, he simply didn't stay in one place long enough to call it home. The weight of old battles lived in him, and every sunrise felt like a victory he didn't earn. He had returned from service years ago, but the war had never returned him fully. That evening, he and Shadow were resting near an abandoned shed, where the quiet breeze helped Ethan breathe a little easier. He rubbed the scar across his forearm, his goodbye mark, as he called it. Shadow nudged him gently, as if reminding him he wasn't alone. "Another night, boy," Ethan murmured. "We just need to make it through another night. But nights have a way of changing everything." A crackling sound snapped the silence. First faint, then louder, then a blast of orange light painted the tree line. Shadow lifted his head, ears high, growling softly. Ethan stood. Smoke, thick, black, and rising. A house was burning. Then he heard it. A scream. High, terrified, childlike. "Shadow, go." The dog sprinted before Ethan even finished the command. Ethan followed, heart pounding as he tore through branches and brush until he reached the burning two-story house. Flames crawled up the walls like hungry serpents. A car sat parked outside, the doors open, groceries spilled. Someone had rushed out. Someone had gone back inside. Someone didn't make it out. "Help, please," a tiny voice cried from the upstairs window. A little girl, no older than 8, pounded on the glass, tears streaking through the smoke around her. Shadow barked fiercely at the front door, pawing at it. Ethan didn't think, he acted. He crashed through the half-burned doorway, shielding his face with his sleeve as heat slammed into him. The inside was an inferno. Every step felt like walking through memories he tried hard to forget, fire, screams, chaos. But this time, he wasn't losing anyone. He found the staircase half collapsed, burning, threatening to fall any moment. He shouted, "Shadow, up." The dog leapt onto the weakened steps, muscles pushing against the heat. Ethan followed, boots slipping on ash-covered wood. Every breath was fire in his lungs. But the girl's sobs guided him. He reached the room just as the ceiling above her started to sag. "Close your eyes," Ethan said, voice gentle despite the chaos. She lunged into his arms with desperate trust. Shadow circled them, nudging Ethan toward a safer path. Then the house groaned, cracked, fell. Ethan jumped through the nearest window, curling his body around the girl as glass shattered around them. They crashed into the bushes below with a harsh thud. Ethan felt pain shoot through his side, but the girl was safe, breathing, trembling but alive. Shadow stood guard, barking at the flames as if daring them to try again. The neighbors arrived too late to help, but not too late to witness the moment. Phones recorded. Sirens arrived. Ethan didn't wait for applause. He simply looked at the girl and whispered, "You're safe. Now. That's all that matters." The paramedics took her. Firefighters swarmed. People pointed at Ethan, shouting praise, trying to approach him. But he didn't stay. He slipped away quietly with Shadow, into the night. Just as he always did. Only this time, someone was watching. And she would find him by sunrise. Book Chapter 2, A Check, a Choice, and a Second Chance. Ethan slept beneath a white oak tree on the outskirts of town, his body aching from the fall, but his mind finally quiet. For the first time in months, he felt purpose. Saving that girl didn't erase his past, but it warmed something inside him that had been cold for years. Shadow lay beside him, head resting on Ethan's chest. Peace, brief, fragile, hung in the morning air. Until a convoy of black SUVs approached. Doors opened sharply. Men in suits stepped out, scanning the area. Then she appeared, a woman in a charcoal blazer, heels sinking slightly into the soft ground. Her eyes were red from crying, but her posture was strong. Victoria Lane, CEO of Lane Global Industries. One of the most powerful women in the state. And the mother of the little girl he had saved. Ethan slowly stood, unsure, Shadow positioning himself defensively. Mr. Ward, she asked softly. He nodded. Victoria approached him with a mixture of gratitude and disbelief. I've been searching all night. You saved my daughter, you saved the only family I have in this world. Ethan shrugged lightly. Anyone would have. No, she said firmly. They didn't. You did. She handed him an envelope, a check inside, the amount so large Ethan nearly flinched just looking at it. This is for you. For your courage. For your sacrifice. Please, let me help you the way you helped us. Ethan handed it back immediately. I don't need money, he said. She stared at him, confused. But you have nothing. I have Shadow, Ethan replied. And today, I have a reason to keep walking. That's enough. Tears welled in her eyes again, not from sadness but admiration. Then let me give you something else, she insisted. A job, a home, a place where you're not alone. My daughter, she's asking for you and your dog. She calls you her heroes. Shadow wagged his tail proudly. Ethan hesitated. The past tugged at him, whispering that he didn't deserve a new beginning. But the memory of the girl's tiny arms clinging to him in the fire returned, along with the look of absolute trust in her eyes. Maybe life was giving him a chance he never expected. All right, he finally said. But I don't want to be treated like charity. Victoria smiled warmly. No, you'll be treated like family. Shadow barked once, as if approving the decision. And for the first time in a long time, Ethan Ward allowed himself to hope. The fire had taken much. But it had also lit the path to his redemption. And this time, Ethan wasn't walking it alone.